What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wax Packs and Warning Tracks. It's Mojobreak's baseball card podcast. It's Cody. It's Bubba. Transcendent Baseball was this week one of the biggest releases of the year. We're going to talk about some of the differences from last year's version. Bubba got to rip a few cases on release day, so we're going to talk about that, some of the big hits, what we liked, what we didn't like, all that stuff. Plus, week one of the regular season officially in the books. So let's make some grand assumptions right out the gate.
What about breaking news?
Breaking news. Yeah, we're actually going to start with that because we had some huge news literally at the moment we were about to start recording. We already knew this morning, big breaking news, especially in the hobby, where Konnor Griffin has been the biggest name, biggest prospect, that his prices have gone to astronomical places. That's only going to continue probably. But by the time you're listening to this, we probably will have hit peak Konnor. I think so, at least in the collecting world. Called up 9 years, $140 million. That literally dropped minutes ago as of this recording. Just your gut reaction to the news. Yeah.
Good job, Konnor. Congrats. Gut reaction. Good job, Pirates.
Yes.
Putting their money where their mouth is. I feel good for fans. I feel happy for fans of Pirates baseball. I feel happy for just general, like, contracts in general. I think as we're like moving toward a new CBA, potential lockout, like, it's just good to see teams spending money. In the grand scheme, is 140 over 9 years like breaking the bank for any one team? Probably not, but like awesome that it's still a lot of money. Best thing about baseball is that all money's guaranteed. I think it makes me think about similar contracts over the years. How about, I think Ronald Acuna Jr. signed an 8-year 100 or 110 or something like that.
The greatest bargain in baseball history when it's all said and done.
Yeah. We'll see how this one plays out. That was in like maybe 2019 or 2018 or 2019 when Acuna got his deal. So I know, money's different now than it was then. This is a huge vote of confidence in Konnor Griffin. He came out hot with that 2-homer game in spring. If you were following his spring thereon after, it was pretty lackluster. Starts the year in AAA and just tore it up for the first week. Earned his spot. I think he probably, Jared Triolo was at shortstop. Has been at shortstop.
Yeah.
He has like 5 hits on the year. So yeah, this makes sense all across the board. I'm happy for the guy. And I already wasn't buying Konnor Griffin stuff. I'm definitely not going to be buying it now. But I think I have a couple stuff from like breaks from back in the day. So
there you go.
Dig up your chromes. This is a huge time for the hobby. So while we're celebrating Konnor, just like the human element, we can have a lot of like celebratory like hobby victories too out of this.
Yeah. I mean, everything. This is going to be the hottest 48-hour period for his market is right now. Yeah. I'm trying to see some of his most recent base first Bowman sales, because I know they were upwards of, we were talking on here.
He was over Bobby price.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over 20. I believe there was a 2,400 at one point. Here you go. This is PSA 10. It's gone down, which again is not really a reflection of him. It's just a reflection of how crazy things got, but it was still about $1,500 for that same card. I would imagine it's going to go up for a little bit here. And given the contract extension, I think you are going to see the bump. It's not going to get to maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to ever say never say never with his market, because it did reach levels where I'm like, it's going to stop at some point, and it just didn't. But it has slowed because of the demotion. I fully expect it to be pretty damn hot over, again, probably this whole weekend is going to be crazy. Just from the baseball perspective, I'm just thrilled that the Pirates did this. I know there's already going to be fans who go, is this maybe an indication of like, we can do this for Konnor, but we don't know if we can do this for Paul Skeens. And so basically, let's maximize the time we have with Skeens Or I don't know. There's a lot of ways to read it. Again, it just happened, so I'm kind of like figuring out my thoughts on it on the fly. Skeens is going to cost you. Whatever contract he signs is probably going to be the biggest contract any starting pitcher has ever signed. He's on that trajectory at least. So it could be an admission of the Pirates of like, look, we're probably not going to be able to afford that. Let's try to build the best team around him in the meantime, and at least have something to fall back on with Konnor Griffin. I did just look up too the success rate of these types of contracts. We just saw two, or this is now the third we've seen this spring alone. Colt Emerson just signed a big deal with the Mariners before ever playing in a major league game. We had Cooper Pratt for the Brewers. Just do the same thing. In recent years, Jackson Churio, that was a very big deal. That one I think is working out pretty well. I know he's hurt right now. Colt Keith, mixed results so far. Luis Robert, that was the big time one where we all kind of were shocked. That was 6 years, $50 million though, in comparison.
Yeah, no, not crazy. I think a lot of the shock was that international prospects, we just had very little to no footage or info other than like some hearsay and some just kind of like, oh, the scouts are saying. There's definitely like a precedent almost seems to be set now. Like if you're hyped up and you're a top prospect, like are these young guys going to start like they don't have demands because there's team control going on, but like will we see more like big money and big years offered to players before they've even had one at bat? I think about like it seems like, yes, we like you just rattled off those names. I think back like I think maybe 2015, 2016, Scott Kingery for the Phillies received like 30, 40 million for a bunch of years, like 6 years, 35 million or something like that. And like that didn't work. And like Scott Kingery is not the other players and vice versa, but there's a little bit of risk involved.
It's a ton of risk.
A ton of risk involved.
For all the names I just mentioned, again, it's worked with Jackson Churio. So thus far, Luis Robert, very mixed results. Other guys here, Evan White, remember him? 2019.
Yeah, Mariners, huh?
He signed a deal that never worked. Eloy Jimenez, mixed results. Did not end well. Kingery, John Singleton for the Astros.
Wow, okay.
Way back. And that one was a crazy little contract, 5 years, $10 million, and there was a lot of like ladders built into the contract.
First base power threat, Singleton.
Yep, a lot of. I think he got suspended for testing positive for weed, and that was like a whole thing that kept coming back. And before the times where it didn't really matter. At
5 years, $10 million is a crazy contract.
And it's a crazy deal.
Who's your agent?
Yeah, I know. But also the trend, too, of like, here are the teams that are doing it. The Mariners, which Mariners spend, but like Brewers, Tigers, White Sox. Now the Pirates are doing this. With the Astros, when they signed Singleton. These are all teams that are not going to be, or at least were at the time, not seen as like the big money spenders in all of baseball.
Right.
So this is their way of like, look, if we're going to get these guys, we have to get them at this price. Rays didn't, it's not exactly the same, but like the Rays did this a couple times where they're like, you have a month or two under your belt or a year under your belt, and we're going to give you the big deal, you know?
Yeah.
They did it with Longoria, like not too long after his debut, if I'm not mistaken. So
it can be an awesome move, a great move for the franchise and front office. I even think about, I know J-Rod has a bunch of escalators. His seemed to be a little extra affordable too.
Yeah.
And they locked him up early.
Yeah, but with the addition of like, I think that contract can end up being like
400 over 400. The escalators are nuts. I mean, he's got to win like 11 MVPs in the next 9 seasons to get that. But
140 out the gate is I again off the top of my head, I'm trying to do the research on the fly, but I don't think there's anything that high out the gate guaranteed money wise for a guy who's never played a game.
It's got to be the highest. And two, like, these are things that I wasn't ever considering as a fan or like just a baseball guy growing up, but like the off the field value is, I think now more important than ever, just as we get further in time with social media and clicks and fan engagement and yada yada. Like there's those metrics on Ohtani. Like he's already paid his whole contract back. They've already made all their money back on Ohtani, in like a year and a half, just on endorsements, sale, blah blah blah. So I don't know Konnor Griffin, but from what I've been hearing, like good dude, good clubhouse presence, sharp, respectful, plays the game right, respects the game. And these are investments. These are just straight up investments. And for an organization, I can't wait to see what he does. And I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to be looking back and think, what a bargain. That does compare to the Acuna deal. That does compare to the, so fill in the blank.
Yeah, exactly. And the Longoria deal, I think, ended up being a bargain.
Yep. And then now, too, if you weren't paying attention, pay attention now, because there is a little bit of precedent set for these deals being made before players have any active service time. But, like, we might start to see it more. And I could see agents, being a little more vocal in the negotiation room. Like, hey, you want our guy? Like, well, I know, like, when a team drafts a guy, there's like team control, and you have, I think it's like six years or something like that.
6 years, yeah.
So, maybe some of these conversations aren't actually happening, but it almost seems like the players these contracts are more player friendly. I think I'd want to go look at numbers and stuff, but it seems like it's being a good bet on the organization's making a good bet in general by giving the money out early, I think.
I think, though, too, I mean, yes, there is, like, for a guy like Scott Kingery who never made it, it's like, well, I still got to take home $25 million in a career that didn't quite feel, did not quite go as I had planned. But again, then there's the Ronald Acuñas who were probably like, he left about a $200 million on the table.
Yeah, he's probably worth at least 20 to 25 a year.
Yeah. He'll still hit the free agent market when he's 29 years old, I think, 28 or 29 years old. How old is he now? I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but he's still going to hit the free agent market at an age where he could still get
27
huge value. Yeah, exactly. He's 28 right now. 28. So he's not going to hit the market quite that soon. But regardless,
there's a lot of money for first-time free agents at 30.
He'll be 30.
Yeah, there's a lot of money still there for players.
Got $17 million option for the next 2 years.
Take it.
That's insane, man. Good Lord.
Is it player or club?
Team option.
Oh, God.
Both years.
Good job, Braves.
Jeez.
Is that Anthopoulos over there?
Yeah, he'll be 30 when he hits the free agent market, which is still not bad. That's still not bad, but obviously, I think even still, if you hit it at 28, if you've been hitting this offseason,
now
with a whole different ballgame.
He's a National League player with universal DH. These guys can, when they go to the negotiation table, they can play for 10. You can play till you're 40,
right?
If you're one of the best.
I'm just looking at the early, some now very recent sales for Konnor Griffin already, or early results. Somebody clearly, I think, either just sold this maybe when he got the call up, or just it's already going up though. $1,800 versus $1,500 for a PSA 10 base chrome auto Konnor Griffin. I expect that number to probably climb over the 2K mark, maybe I don't know if it quite reaches the spring training hype levels unless he goes off on opening day, which then all bets are off.
Yeah, he could go over 3 with a walk and steal a base. His card's going to go up. Any signs of life.
He gets a stolen base. He makes like a big flashy defensive play. Mm-hmm. He's featured all over MLB. He's featured all over the social media. Like, it'll go up based on that alone. So good for Konnor, good for the Pirates. Maybe we see more of these two as the reality of a lockout becomes more clear, and that maybe puts a little more on the young players who can get a big deal like this to be like, you know what, I'm leaving a little money on the table potentially in the future, but I just want to be locked up for my future. That could be playing a factor here. Because I don't think, too, like the number one overall prospect Churio wasn't quite there, right? When he signed, he wasn't quite the number one overall.
I mean, give or take, it
Right.
was tough competition coming up in that 23-24.
Right.
You know,
So that's
24,
another
but yeah.
level of unprecedented in this whole thing. Like, I don't think Bobby Witt ever had an idea of like, no, I'm not signing on the dotted line right out of the gate. I'm going to show you a little bit. Then I'll get my big payday.
And he got a lot of money.
He did.
He got a lot of money. We were calling him Rich Boy whenever we would pull his cards on stream.
Yeah. Although Roman Anthony did just sign a big deal last year too.
Yeah, it's
so
like these guys
it is
sign
happening
big
more
deals. These guys sign big deals. You're like, wow. And then, like someone like 5 years younger signs an even bigger deal.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh.
So it's happening more often than ever. And, and again, is it good? Is it bad for the player in the long run? I still think they're leaving a lot of money on the table. Look at Juan Soto. Like, again, look at what Juan Soto got. Look at what these guys are getting when they bet on themselves, Shohei Ohtani, versus saying, you know what? But again, I also understand it. Like, that much money this early on in your life, if you're 20 years old, someone says, here's a paycheck for $140 million. I get it.
Yeah.
Look, who says no?
I could see short-term deals being more popular as time goes on.
I could see it maybe buying out because this buys out 3 arbitration years or 3 post-arbitration years.
Yeah, so if he's just a straight savage, he's gonna be getting paid. He's locked in. He's signed. You're locked in.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and now we're seeing like ARB numbers get like broken every year, the records and stuff.
Yeah, if he's like, oh, I'm the best shortstop in baseball, by year 9 he's making what? Doing the quick math, he's making 13 million-ish a year, just over 13 million a year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fully walk back what I was saying earlier about like it's good for the player, these deals.
Yeah.
But like,
because he's guaranteeing himself, like, no matter what happens.
There's some more thought that I would want to put into it and like look at these numbers. And there are like maybe 8 to 10 guys we can look at.
Right.
Yeah. Does this do like a domino effect? There are a lot of guys that are unsigned. There are a lot of guys on that team that are unsigned long term.
Yeah. It's too late for
see.
Skeens. It's way too late for Skeens.
I think Skeens does like a Verlander, Scherzer, Bauer thing where he's like, I'm just going to sign for a few years. I'm going to always carry the highest AAV. I think that's what my projection for Skeens. I don't think he goes to the Yankees on a 325 10-year deal like Cole does. I don't think he does a.
That's potentially good news for the Pirates, I feel like, if he were to do that. Because I think I think a team like the way they operate, I know they're, again, Pirates fans blast me in the comments. I get it. But I think they would rather be like 3 years at 125 million. Sure. 3-year commitment. Fine. We'll take the 3-year commitment versus spreading out a $400 million contract over, 12 years.
Yeah, I don't know what their checkbook is looking like, but it's a lot of money. But
yeah, for a guy like him, they can say, we'll do it.
It's a lot. Well, okay. And they haven't.
They've done nothing to prove it, but I just think the short, high AAV.
The contract today, I think, is only a positive for contracts in general.
Yes. This is good news for the Pirates fans. It's good news for it's exciting. It's something tomorrow or today as you're listening to this, a new chapter in Pirates history. There's actual positive momentum for the first time in like over a decade since Andrew McCutchen got called up, basically. This is it really with the combo of Skeens and Griffin together. This is the most excited you have to be about Pirates baseball basically since 2011.
Yes. When did McCutchen win the MVP?
That was
13.
13.
13. It was 13.
Yeah, it was 12, 13. I suppose, yeah.
13, 12. Oh, what a great run. Posey, McCutchen, Kershaw, Harper.
It's a good run.
Come on.
It's iconic.
That's a great run.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk.
We
more
could
next
go
week.
on about early 2010s baseball.
Yeah. Let's see how KG does today if you're watching and throughout the weekend. Really cool for Pirates baseball. You're not like just picking that one game every 5th game to see Skeens. Now you can like watch a rotation and watch a team play.
Yeah, exactly. And they have a fun. They've got some guys there. Brandon Lau's been raking. Yeah. Rhino Hearn. They got some dudes. So it's a nice fun addition to what's already been an incredible start for the rookie class. Mm-hmm. I saw some stat of like the first time since the 1906 or I don't know, something crazy where it's been like over 100, almost 100 years since we've had this good a start for rookies overall for hitting in Major League Baseball. It's crazy. I think the names they were mentioning is like Munetaka Murakami, Sal Stewart, Kazuma Okamoto,
McGonigal.
McGonigal has been crazy. Incredible. Weatherholt. Didn't even mention Weatherholt. God, he's been great. Yeah, it's been exciting for the rookies. This is the only good news for the card collecting community, that the rookie class early signs are very, very strong.
Yeah, your rookie auto, your guy you've been holding on to might be the next guy to get that nice deal, that Konnor Griffin deal.
Yeah. I know JJ Weatherholt, I think there was discussion to try to get a deal done.
I heard that, yeah.
And again, that feels very Cardinals to do that.
Yeah.
Feels very, very Cardinals. Let's get our guy locked up.
You got to do it when you're not going to, whether you're not going to or you can't. There's debate on whether teams can or can't. But if you're not going to spend the Dodger money, the Yankee money, the Red Sox money, this is your way in. I kudos to those teams. Kudos to the Braves of the world, the Cardinals, the Pirates, the Royals.
Or it could be the Red Sox, where you're doing both. You're locking these guys up and you're going out there and getting the pitching and the filling in the gaps where you need to with big money contracts.
If you get like a team friendly deal though on like the Red Sox or Dodgers, you got to feel slighted.
Oh yeah.
But come on, you guys are giving everyone else all this money. What about me?
100%.
I got the team friendly deal.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Let's talk about the products out there this week. We ripped open some Transcendent Baseball on release day.
Yep.
I think there were 4 cases overall that we ripped through on release day.
It's a healthy sample for a product like that too.
Yes, exactly.
They made very few.
Yeah, where there's not that many. You ripped some on Fanatics Live. Got the invite.
Yeah.
Shout out to that's amazing. Congrats to the customer who got that invite. We don't know who it's going to be, but those parties are always incredible, and obviously the goodies that come with it. We saw some of the Barry Bonds cards that came through here after the Transcendent VIP party, and they looked awesome. So whoever that ends up being, going to be very, very cool. But yeah,
who could it be?
Who could they do? I mean, Bonds was so obvious last year because it's like he's here now. He's signing with them. Like, such an obvious.
I think Aaron Judge needs a good press run.
I think Judge feels like the only big one left who hasn't done it.
Ohtani did it.
That was early Ohtani. I think that was after the rookie year. So, or maybe the rookie year, but it was around that time.
It's like the 19 party, I think.
Yeah. So and I think Judge is kind of the last guy standing of like, yeah, if you had Judge and Jeter, that's my prediction. Together.
Cool. 2 captains.
Derek Jeter, Aaron Judge together, New York. Look, and you could even...
You got to get Cone in there then, right? Did he wear a captain patch for a little bit, or am I making things up?
He might have.
I might be making things up. Wells, Cone, help me out here, y'all.
Yeah, Yankee captains. No offense to David Cone, but that would definitely be a third wheel right there for talking to the Yankee captains.
I got
together.
your back, bro.
Yeah, look,
I might be making things up here.
Shout out to David Cone.
Why can't I picture like
pitcher as a captain is quite a choice too, though. No offense to pitchers, but
are you looking this up?
I am looking this up right now.
Just Yankees captains.
If he was a Yankee, yeah. You know what? What am I doing? I'm doing it the hard way. Yeah, Yankee captains. Let's see.
What am I?
Here you go. List of Yankee captains. No, David Cone never was captain.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How about Wells?
Look at this. I said pitcher is a captain. Interesting. Ron Guidry was a captain.
Okay.
Don Mattingly, then Jeter, and then Judge.
I wasn't mixing Guidry with Cone, but I kind of was. I in my head there was a Yankee pitcher that was a captain. I would not have arrived at Guidry.
No, only Yankee
full
pitcher.
Transparency.
He was the only one who was captain, by the way. Willie Randolph in there, Greg Nettles, Thurman Munson, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, and then you're going way back to guys like Raleigh Zeider and Kid Elberfield, Roger Peckinpah. That's going in the way back machine. So
Yankees captains.
Yankees captains.
Cool.
Yeah, big gap between Gehrig. There was none after Gehrig until Thurman Munson. So now it's been revitalized. Anyway,
dang right.
Anyway, no David Cone, but yeah, I could see them doing like Jeter and Judge together would make a lot of sense.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, fair enough. Willie Randolph and Ron Guidry co-captains. There you go. That makes more sense. So basically, Guidry captain of the pitching staff and Randolph captain of the other side.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Transcendent? Some really big stuff out of there last night. You got the Larry David in the break.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was so cool.
That was in the first box. The first case we had the invite, had Larry David, had Aaron Judge. They have, and this is interesting, they have World Series patch autos only for the Yankees.
Right.
2024 World Series patch autos only for the Yankees. I was making the joke that all of the Dodgers World Series jerseys went to the Hall of Fame, and the Yankees ones got cut up into cards.
Into Transcendent.
I was just making a joke, but it's like,
I think you're
what
right.
happened to the Dodgers jerseys?
No, I think you're right.
Or was there some like trademark, copyright, is there a weird Guggenheim thing where like, no, you can't have our jerseys?
Maybe a little bit of that. Maybe a little bit of honestly, the Hall of Fame thing makes a lot of sense. And the Dodgers are probably like, we want those jerseys. Like, there are. Like, I bet there's a good chunk that are sitting at Dodger Stadium somewhere or in a team facility somewhere. And there's probably some of the Hall of Fame, and there's probably some waiting at an auction house somewhere.
Yeah, and like so we hit a few. So we hit two. One of them was a 1-of-1 Anthony Volpe. It was the
Really cool.
The World Series like trophy logo from the chest, which was also pictured in the image on the card, which is important for a product of that caliber. We hit a Juan Soto also that was a Yankees World Series jersey patch.
Wow.
Yeah, and then also on the checklist, we didn't hit it, but a Jose Trevino. So, I mean, they really like went and got like all the players' jerseys.
Yep.
So it was just like at the Jose Trevino, kind of like all ends of the hobby spectrum. The Trouts, or sorry, the Sotos and the Trevinos. No disrespect, Trevino. It added more of like a wrinkle to like, okay, really, why aren't there Dodgers in here? It is what it is. The checklist was public at some point, and people knew that and understood, but it just an interesting choice.
Yeah,
Whether it was a choice or not, it may have not been a choice.
I think there was probably more to it. Yeah, where they just weren't readily available. I think it's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
it was just that, or they couldn't get in the product in time. Because also, why only the 2024 World Series at the same time? Like, can there have been more World Series you could have pulled from? I guess, but whatever. But yeah, some spectacular looking cards in there. No cut autos from what we pulled. Didn't see a ton. I saw a few kind of floating around. Haven't seen as many.
Yeah, the quad president went.
That's right. The quad president did go.
That was the only one I saw. Now, granted, I was breaking all day yesterday, and it was not on Instagram all morning, but so I bet there are more, but that was like a big one. I haven't none of that caliber or close to that caliber at least have popped up on my feed.
I haven't seen that quad unless again we could be recording this and it'll pop up today because I haven't seen that quad, that Ruth, Clemente, Mays, Aaron, which I think is probably the biggest of all the cut autos in there. But this is also like our second year with the new format where it's not just like a giant brick comes in and you're like, here's the product with about maybe 20 different things that you're not getting in each different variation. And obviously VIP is not guaranteed. We were kind of looking back, like trying to refresh our memory, like what were different. And from what we could tell, really the main difference between this year's and last year's, 2 extra packs of the base.
2 extra chrome packs, yeah.
Everything else seemed pretty standard, like the same as last year.
So. Yeah, that's what we could tell. Now, granted, in one of the cases, those 2 additional chrome packs yielded 2 superfractors, a Yadier Molina superfractor and a Will the Thrill Clark superfractor auto. So you take that all day. If you were paying $10,000 to $15,000 last year and you're paying 25 plus this year because they sold out at 25, and you don't get those extra supers or that invite. Yeah, that could sting a little bit. We didn't have a bad case. I'll put it that way.
Right.
We really didn't. In fact, that first case that had the judge, had the 1/1, had the invite, had the Larry David, I mean, probably pays for a few cases. The invite's like sky's the limit. Those things are like wild cards.
Yeah.
I don't see how you put a price on that. That experience is once in a lifetime. I've been trying to, especially, selling it all day yesterday and talking to different individuals, both, in the hobby with experience with it, and then also new customers that are like, what is this thing? I just naturally have been trying to justify all aspects of the cost and the product, the contents. I'm fine with it. I'm not just saying that too. I'm fine with it. Like, am I a buyer at $25K? No. Like, I'm probably buy 10 Konnor Griffin for Roman refractory autos or whatever before I do that. But
same price, jeez.
For the same price. But after having like my hands on the product and seeing multiple cases and a little bit of the flow, it could be way more. And I think people would still pay it. And some of those hits are 6-figure hits, depending on who you are, life-changing hits. And I love that. Now, that's why, I think maybe getting into a PYT or a PYP is maybe the best way to get into the product and to break that down. We had a lot of individuals spend just a few $100s yesterday and end up with some hits worth, thousands of dollars.
Right.
So I like that there's a breaking component to it, like an obvious breaking component to it. It's much better than like a case of Dynasty where you get 5 cards.
Sure.
And you can kind of be out of pocket a similar amount on a case-by-case basis than you would with Transcendent in a weird way. But I want to see kind of how today goes, kind of day 2, if you're day 3, if you're watching at home the podcast now. There are some huge hits that are still out there, like the biggest hits are still out there.
Right. Did see the Ohtani 1/1 MLB patch got pulled, or at least one of them did. Yeah.
Nice.
It was really nice.
And then we had a couple.
There's more. I'm not sure if there's more.
What I was going to say is we have from yesterday multiple Jeter image variations.
Yeah.
So it leads me to believe that there could be multiple 1/1s or multiple 1/1 patches, whether it's a logo man or a laundry tag or something for each player.
This is still among the most special. Like, I am not getting into these breaks, and so I'm only speaking as a spectator. Just from watching these, it is still the most fun. It's a blast to watch this. The cards look amazing. They are spectacular, and again, they are some of the most valuable in the hobby.
Yeah.
Watching it and comparing it to last year and seeing the significant price jump increase, I'm not fully convinced it was justifiable yet, and I don't know if I will be.
Yeah,
frankly, it's because I'm even looking at the breakdown from last year of 24. So, just to refresh your memory, from 24, 2 auto patch cards, 2 relics, RP, a rookie auto or an autograph patch, 1. 2 additional autos, a jumbo dual or triple patch card, 1, and 1 additional autograph or mem card, plus the 4 packs per box with 8 cards per pack. Also, I'm seeing, and again, this might just be, it wasn't fully up to date. You kind of made some kind of a reference to, it took a while to get the public checklist out. I think we had to be like, it's out on Topps, and it was kind of buried a little bit. Because we were saying 10 packs, it seemed, right? In the 10 base packs, or was it 8 base packs in 25?
Wait, there were 6.
There were 6. Okay.
There were 6 packs.
Or the Chrome packs or whatever.
With 8 cards each.
Okay.
So there are 42 total cards per box, per case, however you want to call it.
Okay.
42 total cards. So
this has
32 out of the Chrome packs and then 10 encased hits.
Got it. Okay, so 6. This still lists, and I'm looking on, I think on DA, but it's on other places as well. Still lists 4 8-card packs, which it appears to be there's 2 more. So yeah, and then everything else is pretty much the same. Randomly inserted Chrome autos, but then you got the 2 autos, the 2 patch cards, the 2 2 rookie autos or 2 RPAs. That's a little different. 2 autograph relics, which I believe that's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so are there extra things in this year's set to wrap this up? Yes, there are. I just don't know if it's quite worth the big leap in price to justifies the big leap in price.
It's a $10,000 increase, call it roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean your additional patch autograph could be Kurtz, and it's huge.
Right.
It could be Chase Meadroth, and you're like, I didn't have to pay an extra $10,000 for this,
Right.
this year.
Right.
Yeah, I would. Looking through the checklist, top to bottom, multiple times, you don't love to see some of the names on there that are on there because you're like, damn, like I am getting such few cards. I'm only getting 10 encased cards, and some of these guys on this patch auto list are like not the most desirable. Like, you might be happy if you pulled that card out of like a flagship product, but like maybe not what you're looking for in Transcendent. So yeah, it's still too early. I don't know. I want to I'm kind of indifferent. I want to see more, and I'm really curious to see what happens to the price. Does it go to 22? Does it go to 30?
Right.
Does it stay right at 25? I don't know. It's such a unique product. They make so little of that. We're talking about it, getting into like the numbers and the differences, and it's going to be sold out and gone, and no one's going to be ripping it in a week. And we're going to be talking about something else.
Right.
So but what an impact this product makes for just being kind of like relevant for like a week in the hobby.
It is crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it is a blink and you miss it, and it's an event. It's a true event product when it comes out. And again, even if you're not getting into the breaks, they are, to me, they're just entertaining to watch. Like the types of things coming out of here are cool. But yeah, it's the sticker shock is real, and I will say too. And again, I also do think it's more entertaining. If we take price out of it, I think it's a more entertaining rip the last couple of years. There's more of a chase. There's more excitement behind it versus the sort of like it's weird. It was weird like the first couple times when I was relearning some of the stuff that I hadn't seen in the hobby since I got back into it years ago. Now, the first time I watched the Transcendent break and the way like Doug and Dan were reacting to some of these autos, I'm like, why aren't we more excited about this? Like, that's a big rookie auto.
Yeah.
Like, because you
knew what you were getting.
Right.
You just didn't know the parallel.
Right.
For the price, you'd want it to be that way, where you get a little bit of everything. I don't know, man. I don't know, and it's like, I don't know if I was talking to you about this the other day or who I was talking to about. It's like Shohei Ohtani exists, Aaron Judge exists.
Yeah.
Sorry, baseball product's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be as affordable as you're used to before 2018 or before 2017 when Judge was like. It's just like, sorry, but like we're just witnessing greatness. And
it's also a reflection, I think, of the overall top of the market. And these are the top of the market cards.
Yeah.
For better or worse, I think it's a reflection of that it's just these cards are like, we talked about it this week on the hype board. There was a triple logo man that is the Luka, LeBron, and Curry that we were like, that's a worse version of the card that got pulled here. And it sold for $400,000, $300,000 more than the one that got pulled here. And we're like, that's objectively a worse card.
Right.
Not that it's a bad card. Obviously, it's a huge card. But that's a reflection of just how crazy things are at the very tip top, the elite cards in this market right now. And that's what Transcendent is.
Godspeed. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck
out there. And
because if you hit, it's freaking huge.
Yeah.
So
Judge Jeter VIP party.
All right,
same week as Fanatics Fest. There. That's my planting my flag.
All right.
Because I think that's All-Star.
Wait, it is?
I'm gonna say it is. I'm just saying it is.
Oh, because I think on the invite it was like TBD or something like that.
When's All-Star break?
July 14.
Okay, so it's the same week as Fanatics Fest. Fanatics Fest. Yankees are back in action Friday of Fanatics Fest in New York. I'm saying it right now. Wednesday, because I don't want it to bleed into Fanatics Fest. Wednesday, that's when the party's happening.
Cool.
With Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter in New York.
Ooh.
Boom. Calling it.
All right. Yeah, Aaron Judge is, Jeter's a good pick. Jeter's a good Fanatics guy.
You don't really need to pair them up, but like, I don't know. I think they're going to flex and be like, let's get them both. Let's go nuts.
You think they're like big fans of each other?
I don't know how they feel about each other. I think Jeter likes him. He's got no skin in the game anymore.
For whatever reason.
I'm sure Jeter and him are tight.
And like, I just think that like everyone loves each other. For whatever reason, when I think about those two guys, I could see it being a little awkward.
It's kind
in
of
a room together.
You know what it is too? It's like the vibe of like MJ and LeBron.
Sure.
Where people are kind of like, I bet there's a little bit of tension here.
Yeah. Any F1 fans out there, like after a race, when like they're all the three podium guys are all in a room together and they're like looking at each other like, well, how was the race for you? It's like, well, you just cut me off. They live their own lives. They're doing their own thing, different eras, different teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, two big personalities, it seems. It almost, I don't want to keep talking about Judge, but like Judge to me is still finding his identity within the sport and with fans.
I agree with you, and that's a crazy thing to say for a guy who's done so much in his career and is the face of the Yankees. But you're right. But that's kind of also Jeter kind of was also that, but
Jeter won 5 rings. So
that's true. And so it kind of didn't matter. And I will say that in a way, his sort of off the field legend, you know what I'm talking about. That in a way, I think elevated him to another level where it's like,
he's a dog.
Mariah Carey, the gift baskets. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, Aaron Judge is super squeaky clean.
Forgot about those gift baskets.
Yes. He's so squeaky clean that he does. There's not even like Jeter had just a tiny bit of that edge, just a little bit. He never let it on, but you all knew it was under the surface. Judge doesn't have that.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for like a signature moment. So, and maybe like we were talking about the Transcendent VIP party. I think it came up in my head because I was just thinking of like what a cool way for him to engage with fans and like fans of the hobby. He's not in hot water because he's Aaron Judge and he's going to be fine and he's going to be great. But there's just like narratives out there about him that are probably warranted, but like unfairly held on to and like begrudgingly. And I don't know.
Yeah. And then when the personality itself can be, I don't want to say bland, but it's kind of the only thing I can think of right now.
As long as he's not trying to do like a hype up speech or something, just like go shake some hands and be like, thank you for being here. I am Aaron Judge. Right. And
look, from what I hear, he's great with kids and that's what really matters.
Yeah, he did the whole Paw Patrol thing or the spin-off of Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
And
I will say, but in comparison to you're going to be comparing him to Shohei Ohtani. And Shohei is so fun, and he's like has these great reactions. Like he looks like a kid having fun playing baseball.
He's so animated.
He's so animated
on the field.
Yes,
and I think Clayton Kershaw was asked about that the other day. He was in the booth or whatever, and they were just like, and he's like, yeah, he's always doing something. Like you can always he's a spectacle because he's always just stretching a weird way that no one's ever stretched, or he's doing he has the meanest alfalfas coming out of his helmet, which is awesome because I had that when I was young. I was like, that was me.
Yep. I think it was with the Diamondbacks when Carlos
like
Santana was like trying to put it back in his helmet.
He's awesome. Yeah. He doesn't take himself too seriously, and he very well could, and he doesn't.
And that's what's cool about him is he feels like a guy where you're like, he would walk by you and you would feel like you'd just be blown away by his aura. But then like for Carlos Santana be at first base and feel like he can do that. And players also feel like they can do that with him because he gives off the vibe of like, we're just having fun. Like, let's have a good time. We're playing baseball for a living. Isn't this great?
He gets hit by a pitch up in the shoulder and he's smiling, laughing at the dugout, running to first base.
Yeah. So I think that in comparison to Judge is not doing Judge favors either too. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, it's hard to be the guy when the guy already exists.
Yeah.
And when that guy's beating you in the World Series.
Right. All right, let's try not to make this the official podcast of Aaron Judge because we have become this now. I just realized with this conversation and our multiple other conversations we've had. Aaron Judge, you are literally the second best player in baseball. You're incredible. You're going to the Hall of Fame. There. Cut that part out for social media. All right, let's 5,000 likes later, Yankee fans, and then they're all hating. All right, let's do a little taxi squad. Let's wrap it up. We're back because baseball's back. Buy, sell, or hold. Are we calling them up? Or are we sending them down? Or are they riding the bench? That's how we do things. And week one, some fun performances. Again, we mentioned a lot of big rookie performances. Chase DeLauder, maybe the most surprising of those rookie performances. A home run in 3 straight games, which I think he and Murakami became like the first rookie or like the, they were on a very, very short list of rookies to accomplish that. Pretty incredible that 2 guys did it. But Murakami, I think there was at least an expectation of like, yeah, this guy can absolutely rake. DeLauder, if you were not really thinking about it, if he wasn't really on your radar, you would not be alone. Just another Guardian prospect quietly doing their thing and now in the big leagues and looking great. Former first rounder from 2022. 284 was the most recent sale on March 30th for a PSA 10 first Bowman auto of Chase DeLauder, who, by the way, did get a little banged up in a game. Should be back. Should be fine for opening day in Cleveland. He's got 4 home runs on the season in 6 games.
That's a great sale for that card.
It's a great sell for that card.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was probably like a $50 card.
Yeah. This is, I mean, look, we're both going to agree. You got to sell now.
Yeah, it's a sell.
He's fun, super fun, and he's been like a top prospect for a while.
Yeah, you know the name. If you're like, where do I know the name? You know the name.
He's been
since
been around.
He got drafted. I mean, he's been a guy that like would be in like the Panini products, and he's just been around. A guy that maybe you've been rooting for because you have a lot of his stuff already, or you've come across a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in 138 games in the minors, he batted .302. He had 20 homers. He was great. He was fantastic. So look, I say sell, but like I say sell only because he's a Guardian, only because he's with Cleveland. And I just don't know how many more eyeballs he will get on him unless he becomes, Jim Thome or something.
I mean, let's wait for J-Ram to have some good sales. But and I don't have too much to say about DeLauder. I mean, he's been a guy that, like I was saying, he's been in the back of my mind at best for going 4 years now, and I'm just happy for the guy because it also like I'm not old, but I'm also not like young. By the way, peeps, I'm 28 years old. Full transparency. There
you go.
So
am I.
These Chase DeLauders, these we were talking about Konnor Griffin, Acuna. I have not any unique perspective to anyone else out there, but like I am just like for myself, kind of like coming to terms with, and now like having some aha moments of, okay, like Chase DeLauder finding success at the big league level. Like for some people, it's the first time you're hearing his name. This guy's like my age, probably.
Yeah, he's a little older for he's 24, which for a call up, I will say this though.
I thought he was 26.
He's kind of a make, but 24 is that like make or break for a guy who's like a former first rounder, former top prospect. It's like gotta happen now.
Yeah, like Colson Montgomery was that last year for me. Was like, all right, dude, kind of now or never.
Yeah,
we've been talking about you since 2021.
I think Colson's a little bit younger, isn't he? No, he's also 24. Jeez,
yeah. So okay, that's that ballpark then.
24 is the age.
It's that you were So it's 4 years since draft. Is kind of what is that
right
ballpark I'm talking about. It is make or break. That's a good way to put it. I'm selling DeLauder still. The swing is there, obviously. He's done it 4 times in 6 games. It's just like putting it together over a season. There's a guy from Australia that's probably going to be joining that team in about a month or so. And
he's got a little more hype behind him.
Yeah, and just like Marcelo Mayer is a great player. I don't want to jump around too much, but like people are spending less on Mayer because they're spending more on Roman Anthony. So like at some point you can't just have a bunch of guys on these teams, hobby-wise, just speaking about the hobby, that are always going to be performing and be great investments for you. That's why I think right now, and I'm not any Einstein for saying this, you have to sell DeLauder. He could probably hit 3 more home runs over the next week and a half, and I don't see a sale going over 300.
Yeah, that card. Yeah,
For
no,
that card.
no. Yeah, I think you're probably at the peak here with DeLauder again, unless he becomes like a Jim Thome type, and maybe he does. I don't know. But Cleveland also is just churning these guys out left and right. It feels like. I agree with you. I like the story. It's excited to have a guy click in for them. But yeah, again, it's the team. Unfortunately, it really comes down to that. It's not the player. It's not even that.
Yeah, it's the team.
It's not the player. It's the team.
Yeah.
And there just hasn't been that big Cleveland. I mean, J-Ram is the guy, and unfortunately, he doesn't have any Bowmans.
Right.
So that's just going to always really stunt his market, unfortunately. So, and maybe it's that too. Maybe it's just they haven't had an example.
Which is wild that it would stunt his market because it just adds to the scarcity component.
You would think. I've always thought that, like, he's on a Hall of Fame track right now.
Oh, he's for sure a Hall of Famer.
He's on that
I think
path.
he's for sure a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and I think he's just so underrated in all aspects.
He's a Hall of Famer because if the baseball writers don't put him in, the contemporary ballot that has former players on it will.
Yeah.
He is voted the most underrated player in baseball by the players, I think, like every year since he's had that All-Star season 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Where are the home run and stolen base numbers at for him? They got to be.
They're probably identical.
That's crazy. 286 home runs, 289 stolen bases.
Whoa.
He's good. This year, he's probably joining the 300 club.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. There's a shot. He's got an outside shot at 400. That's Bonds.
I was going to say, I don't know that list, but it's short.
I think it's only Barry Bonds.
Okay.
I think. I'd have to double check that. But I'm pretty sure.
Ricky Henderson. How many homers did Ricky hit?
Let's look it up. He's not in that.
He had some pop.
I believe that.
Is he a 300, 400 guy?
Yes. Barry Bonds is the exclusive member of the 400 club. And you've only got 8 members of the 300 club. A couple of those guys are not Hall of Famers. Shout out Reggie Sanders.
Wow.
Love
cool.
Reggie Sanders.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Bonds, Willie Mays, Andre Dawson, Bobby Bonds, Steve Finley, Reggie Sanders, A-Rod, Carlos Beltran. So most of those guys are Hall of Famers or should be in the Hall of Fame or would have been in the Hall of Fame.
I thought Ricky had way more homers than he actually does.
No. I think he's just shy of 300.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Jose Ramirez is a shot at 400. I don't know if that's being talked about enough.
Cool. He seems super durable too. Like,
yep.
I never feel like I'm knocking on wood here. I don't feel like he ever has had injury history.
He's 33, so he'll need to be very healthy for the next few years to do it, but it can happen. It can happen.
Yeah.
And with DH, why not?
On that team.
That'd be so fun for that to happen.
Be a guardian the rest of your career. You'll be able to play every day.
Yep. All right, so we're selling on Chase, but love the story. And look, if he was a Yankee or Red Sox, maybe our thoughts would be different. But he'd also probably be a lot more expensive right now. So
yeah.
If you're really high on him, I don't know. Sure, why not? Knock yourself out. If you think he's going to be participating in the home run derby, which we'll see about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Dalen Lyle on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, not a power hitter per se, although 9 home runs in 91 games last year with the Nationals. If you weren't thinking about him, you're not alone because Dalen Lyle came up for 91 games last year with a national team that was not good, but batted .299, 347 on base, actually pretty 498 slugging. Mm-hmm. Look at the numbers and not bad. 11 triples. So dude can run.
What was his OPS plus? Do you see that?
137.
Sick.
Very good.
That's all-star.
A very good year. I know he's a good defensive player too, and off to a great start. 11 hits, leads all of Major League Baseball right now for Dalen Lyle. And look, PSA 10, number to 499 refractor. It's not a first Bowman because his autos were not first Bowmans. His first Bowmans are non-autos. He signed his second cards.
Yeah.
So that's his first auto, but obviously an opportunity to get your first auto for a cheaper price, $66.
Wow.
I kind of am in on this.
Yeah, because he could easily be, if they had one representative for the All-Star team, he could easily be their representative.
Yeah.
Like James Wood has to pick it up, or it's going to be Dalen Lyle or both. I'm in at 66. I agree. I think about guys like Jacob Young a couple years prior. They had a pretty nice, like out of nowhere season for the Nats. We're not talking about Jacob Young anymore.
No, he's pretty strictly just a defensive guy at this point.
Yeah, but he like had offensive numbers.
Yeah, to start, I think.
He was like very relevant offensively. So it's like, expectations are tempered or whatever. 66 is a good price. You said it was numbered?
It's a numbered to 4. It's a refractor Bowman auto. It's his first auto. It's not first Bowman. And it's a PSA 10.
Yeah, take a flyer on that. Before you spend hundreds of dollars on a non-numbered Chase DeLauder, have some fun and get yourself a haircut with the leftover money on Dalen Lyle, numbered.
There you go.
Because if he pops up in a headline somewhere, or I'm telling you, these All-Star game guys, there are guys you're like, how is he an All-Star? It's like, well, the team didn't have anyone else. So they get the jersey, they get this, they do all this, they get the fanfare, they're on the red carpet. These little things add to card value. It could be $100 card. God forbid he's a good baseball player, actually. That's probably one of the better investments.
Yeah.
This early in the season for a guy that is having success.
Just 23 years old. That power speed combination there is tempting. If the power is real, 9 home runs last year, he doesn't have any this year. It's very, very early. Looking at the minor league numbers, and yeah, there's some real pop. There's some real potential. I don't say, 19 home runs across 302 games. So it could develop. Looked like it was sort of developing at the major league level. So why not?
Yeah, who's like a 15-25 guy?
Oh, geez. Well, probably a few guys. There's plenty of guys out there.
Was Profar like a 15-25 guy?
Yeah, maybe at the best it got, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, those are very respectable numbers.
Yeah. But look, leading the league right now in hits and had a great, again, 96 hits in 91 games last year.
Yeah.
So it could be that kind of guy where you're just like, he's maybe a Bo Bichette, where you're just like, he's constantly there, at least offensive profile of like, he's constantly there. He's never going to be a lot of hits. He's a high batting average guy, and enough power and enough speed where you're like, he just kind of does it all.
A fun guy to root for, too. He's taking advantage of an opportunity. Dylan Cruz did not make the opening day roster, and it was like Dalen Lyle is the guy because of that.
Right.
It was Cruz's job to lose. He lost it. Mad props to Dalen Lyle, leading the league in hits through a week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be on the eBay checking it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be checking it out.
I'll say this. The last time, I remember a few years ago, it was like maybe 2 weeks into the season, and I jokingly brought up Stephen Kwan of like, yeah, we all expected this, right? Stephen Kwan leading the league in hits. That's turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
That's turned out pretty damn good for Cleveland, and Stephen Kwan's like a perennial all-star now. So you never know.
Local legend, Stephen Kwan.
Right. That's right. The pride of Los Gatos.
Yes.
That's right. Finally, a guy we talked about last summer as I want to say this right now because I saw it. I'm looking at you, pointing right at the camera to MLB.com because I saw it pop up today. It said, could we see another catcher break records? I'm like, wait a minute.
I saw that.
We were on this last year.
I saw that.
We were on the Shea Langoliers train a year ago.
You were.
I was. Fair. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah, I'll give you get the credit for that.
I was on this train a year ago of like, I bet you Shea Langoliers might be the next guy to pop up for catchers.
And he did.
5 home runs so far. That leads all of Major League Baseball.
He was good like all of last year.
Yes. If you look at like the records for most home runs in A's history in a single season, he's like 3 of the 5 seasons.
With Canseco in there. With
right.
With Big Mac.
It's kind of nuts that he's like here now. And he's just like, I still think very underrated on a team where we're talking about Kurtz. We're talking about Wilson. We're talking about oh, Lawrence Butler is going to have a big bounce back year or whatever. Here's Shea Langoliers batting with 5 home runs this year. He had 31 a year ago. He had 29 the year before. He's just getting better every year. I don't think he's going to hit 60.
I was going to say, you know who did that, right? Who had those trends?
Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
It is kind of wild how he is almost exactly following his path. I'm not saying he's 60, but could he be the guy who leads all catchers in home runs this year? I 100% think that can happen. His prices are starting to reflect that. $145 for a raw first Bowman auto on April 2nd. That's as of this recording. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's higher than it was when we first brought him up a year ago. It's like, I bet he can be the next guy.
Maybe a situation where the Braves uniform doesn't hurt the value as much as you think. Like if it was vice versa.
I think I got to say recently, I think there was a time where that really had an effect. I think we're done with that now.
I hope so.
I think we got we have so many new people who are collecting now who are just like, I just like the player. And I get it.
Yeah.
Guys move around. Guys go to different places. Tatis was kind of the first guy I remember that was a big at least in the post 2020 era of like, oh, does it matter? He's on the White Sox. And I think enough people were like, no, because he's so good. Who cares?
Right.
He's too good. So I'll just say, just an aside, I think it matters less now than ever before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you buying, selling, holding Shea?
Boy, I was saying the raw at 145 is definitely higher. And yet, knowing what happened to Cal last year and how it went bonkers, how it just through the roof, insane. And honestly, the prices felt so similar. And this is higher than what he was. And I think a big part of it is people are like, he's the guy. Oh,
right.
It's happening.
Right.
It's happening now. So if you're going to buy, you better buy soon. Because I think there is still room for growth, potential room for growth. A lot of that has to be like, he's got to have like a 40 homer season for that to happen. But I don't think that's crazy. And I think in this lineup too, where I think he gets maybe Kurtz gets pitched to less this year. That's going to benefit him. There's just going to be more teams that are going to decide, I'm going to face Shea Langoliers instead of having to face Nick Kurtz. And I think he gets more pitches to hit. He's in the lineup more, and he's just gotten better every single year. So I think I am still buying on him.
I like that. I'm not buying. I'm probably holding. I don't own any of his stuff, but
he's 100% a hold.
I wanted to say sell right away, and then we started talking about it a little more. And even just like that little tidbit about lineup protection is huge. So I'm hold because I don't love the buy. I don't like the raw price there.
Yeah, it's a little higher than I think I even was anticipating. I hadn't looked at Shea's market in a little bit. That's significantly higher than it was. So I think we talked about him around mid-August last year when he was on a tear, and his stuff was, I think, really, really like we were both hard buys on him at the time.
Yeah.
So if you bought him then,
because it was just like $20. You could get like really like cool stuff.
Yeah, you could get some good Shays. Yeah. I'm still very high on him. I think I think he's got a decent shot. I think Cal's still probably the all-star starter just based off reputation alone, but
yeah,
he's going to force the conversation. I genuinely believe that. I like him a lot. So shout out to Shea, and hopefully we get to rip some more cards with him. We know he's a collector too.
Yeah, if you guys were like, oh, you guys got to talk about this guy, let us know down below who you're buying, selling, or holding too.
Love to know. Yeah, if you guys are watching us, please.
There are especially after a week of baseball, there are 100 guys we could be buying, selling, and holding right now.
Yeah,
I wanted to give a quick little shout out to Cam Schlittler from the Yankees. He's on an historic run. That might be an interesting buy, sell, hold to monitor because I think prices right now are super high. But he's doing things that we haven't seen, and it's also a weekend, so just something to keep on the radar.
A Yankee.
Right. So like the volatility and also the floor, a little more easy to perceive, I think, when you're in a Yankee uniform.
Yep. Just in general, if there's a pitcher that you're kind of like, I like this guy, and you see the prices are very reasonable for whatever your budget may be. I don't know. I think the last few years has proven that's the pitching. The stigma on collecting pitchers is maybe not fully gone, but it's not nearly what it used to be. So I think why not take a shot on some of these guys?
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Wax Packs with Warning Tracks. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, let us know in the comments who you buying, who you selling right now, who you hot on, who you high on. If you want to hear us talk about a different guy, let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you're listening to us, go over to YouTube and watch. And if you're watching us, make sure to subscribe wherever you get podcasts. Just search Mojobreak where you get podcasts. That's how you'll get this show. You'll get the hype. And again, hopefully we are in the lab on working on some new stuff. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
But until next time, for Bubba and Cody, we'll see you guys next week on Wax Packs and Warning Tracks.
See it.